Today we're going to get the shot with the Panasonic Lumix S5ii and the 20-60 kit lens from the beautiful American Tobacco campus in downtown Durham. Let's go. What's up everybody? Phil with Photo Gear Fun here today at the beautiful American Tobacco campus where there's a Duke baseball game going on downtown Durham. Kind of busy here today. I want to take this Panasonic Lumix S5 through its paces. I got it a couple of months ago or so. I haven't really had a lot of time to get out and do any photography or video. So all the photos you see today will be from this S5ii. All the video you see will be from this S5ii and this 20-60 kit lens. I think it's probably one of the best ranges kit lens. Probably going to be my favorite kit lens. We're at f3.5 20mm right now. I'm going to roam around and take a bunch of shots, kind of talk to you about how I made those shots and what I was thinking in the studio, and then we'll intersperse some video like this. So let's go ahead and grab some shots. Right, so here we are with the first shot in Lightroom. I'm going to walk through each of these photos. These are raw right now with no adjustments, as you can see. This is one that I always like to get. It shows you some clarity at least. We can see pretty good. You can see the information here. We're at ISO 100, 33mm, f4.4, 1/25 a second. Like the color, like the clarity. Pretty good, sharp shot. Down in the corners. Maybe a little soft, but overall pretty good. This is, I'm going to show you the focal range. So it's a 20-60mm lens. This is 20mm. And you can see, again, the colors look good. Clarity looks good, very sharp. This is 39mm. And then this is 60. So there's the range, 20, 40, and 60. Here's one that can kind of give you an idea on the dynamic range. I'll show others as well, but this is kind of dark and bright, so I'm just going to use auto here real quick, but you can get an idea if we need to recover more. We can bring those highlights down further and bring those shadows up even more. So I'm not sure what it's rated for dynamic range, somewhere probably between 12 and 14, but that's pretty impressive. If we go back to the original and kind of show the maximum dynamic range here. Looks a little HDR-ish, but it gives you an idea on what it does from a dynamic range perspective. This is just a shot I took at 42mm. Just a cool photo. Give you some idea on the colors. You can see we're at f4.8, so foreground's a little bit out of focus. And the train itself in pretty good focus. Just another version of that. We're at 60mm here instead of 40. Again, looks pretty good. There's some CA, we'll talk about that a little bit more, and you saw it in the video. Definitely wide open, not great, but here is a 20mm shot of the train, so that is the front side where we saw the photo. Just get an idea on how crisp and sharp this lens is, and again, so the idea of the colors. And this is waterfall, so we'll go 400, ISO 400. I'll give you an idea of how it looks in lower light as well. And 400 looks pretty clean. And again, no adjustments have been made here. Now we're at ISO 1000. Let's just give this one a quick auto to see. It still looks pretty clean to me. Even in the back you can see pretty good clarity. Took this one to give you an idea on highlight recovery. So this is overexposed. You can see here, fairly overexposed, but even on the highlight recovery, it seems to be doing a pretty good job. So, you know, some of the sky is probably still maybe a little bit blown out, and you can see some of that chromatic aberration here, that purple and green fringing, even at f8 in this particular case. It's a pretty high contrast scene, but that's an idea on kind of the highlight recovery that you can get. And this is just another one to show you the range with our friend Bert over here. Bert's Bees was started in Durham, still is actually in Durham, the factory's there. So this is at 20mm and we're at f8. And you can see the detail. I like this sign because it shows detail pretty well, especially in those bees. And then we'll zoom into just over 40 millimeters, trying to keep the same framing. It's not exactly the same. And you can look at the bricks too if you want to do that kind of brick test, but at 40 millimeters looks really good. Still really sharp. Nice color rendition. And then at 60. So again, these are all at the same aperture, f8, which I think is probably the sharpest for this lens. 5.6 and f8, probably the sharpest. And this is, there's usually a hive in here. I just took the picture to show that. But this is for Burt's Bees, and usually in here, you'll slide this open, you'll be able to see a hive of bees. Again, everything looks pretty good. And we're at ISO 320 here, so really not too bad on the ISO. And here's another idea with the bee mural. This is on the side of Burt's Bees at 20 millimeters at 5.6, 1/80th of a second. And this is at 40. And then 60. So again, 20, 40, 60. So you have to pardon the exposure here, but I just wanted to walk around and give you an idea on what the video looks like. This is probably the most stable full frame as we look at the bee mural here. Most stable full frame in the business. So here we are. Just a little walk and talk. See how that stabilization looks. Pay attention to the corners. We're at 20 millimeters. Beautiful. Bee mural, which I'm going to get some shots of, so you have already seen them or you will see them coming right up. So that is the capabilities of the stabilization. Pretty good in my testing. Let's check out some more of American Tobacco campus. And I usually just take a picture of one of these signs again to show how crisp the text looks. And you can see looks pretty good. Home of the Durham Bulls, by the way. The world champion, minor league world champion, Durham Bulls. Here's another shot I thought was just pretty cool, looking up at the Lucky Strike Tower. And we're at f5.6 here, so you can get an idea on the depth of field. And again, these are all unedited, so you can, just do a quick auto in Lightroom and get you an idea on what it would look like edited. But these again are all just the raw files. I just like this shot. And again, we'll hit the auto and you can kind of see, but this gives you an idea again on how really sharp a lens can be, and this lens is really sharp. We're at 60 millimeters here. This is another shot I like to get. You can see the contrast between the dark and the light, and we'll check that one out as far as how the dynamic range is of this camera. I haven't really tested that, so we're going to find out together and navigate down to my favorite spot in all of American Tobacco. Let's head down there and grab a couple shots. And this is another one I take for dynamic range. So we're again at 60 millimeters, ISO 100. You can see the deep shadows and the bright highlights. So let's go ahead and give this one the treatment and see. Pretty impressive. So again, the shadow and highlight recovery is pretty good. We'll go back to the original image. And then just adjusting highlights and shadows here. Still good detail. And this is just a different version of it, maybe with even deeper shadows. So 1/640th of a second. The IBIS in this is really, really good. And this is another 20, 40, 60 shot basically. So we're at 20 millimeters here. My favorite little spot to grab a photo. Now 40. 1/60th of a second. And then 60. I truly don't have any complaints about the sharpness of this lens and this camera for photos. So here's another 20, 40, 60. We're at ISO 800 this time. looks really clean, and again, there's no sharpening being applied. This is just unedited raw file, 20, 40, and then 60. So here's 20 wide end, and there's 60. All right, and here's the spot. You've seen the shots. This is the spot. Actually, take you around. It's kind of under some stairs. I'm not sure a lot of people know about it, but let's see how the auto ISO is doing here. We've got auto ISO on. Shooting an aperture priority on the video. We're at f5.6, so the shutter speed might be a little wonky. ISO 200. But that's my favorite spot. I brought the Fuji XE3 with the 27mm lens. I might actually do another video here on that too. I'm going to take some pictures with the Fuji, and then we'll move on and get a few more shots here at American Tobacco. I just like this shot. I thought it was nice, but it shows how it kind of handles highlights and the colors. Again, it was a blue sky day, and again, this is unedited, so if you wanted to add a little something to it, you could do that. No sharpening or anything has been added here, so this is one I like to take to see CA, and this shot doesn't look too bad. You saw some CA in the tree earlier. In this case, it doesn't really look all that bad, and there's a North Carolina public radio station inside of American Tobacco, and this is just kind of another angle on that to see. And this is one for maximum dynamic range. You can see this Durham pretty much black, and you can see how bright that water tower is. So this is probably the maximum you're going to test any camera, and not bad. Didn't maybe get all the way there, but definitely better. So here is the adjusted image, and there's the original. And this is just to walk you through the ISO range. So we're at 125 here. And I'll just quickly adjust these so you can get an idea. Focusing here, we're at 1/60th of a second. ISO 125, here's ISO 800. Let me just make sure there's no noise. Noise reduction's off, okay. 800. Again, pretty clean. 1600. Still looks pretty clean. You can see a little bit here in the shadows. A little bit of noise, but a little noise reduction would clean that up. 1600 looks good to me. Could definitely use that. Now we're at 3200. I think it looks just as clean. 6400 now. Yeah, I mean, even 6400 I think still looks pretty clean. Getting a proper exposure definitely helps. You can see a little bit of noise there. It's not as clean as the 125, and here's absurd 12,800. I don't know, I would say even that can probably be used. It's starting to break apart. There's a little bit of color, a loss of color fidelity there, but really not bad at all. So those are the photos that I wanted to show you. Well, that's going to do it for another episode of Getting the Shot here at the beautiful American Tobacco campus. Let a lot of breath move through quite quickly. Let me know what you think of this Panasonic Lumix S5ii and this 20-60 kit lens. Leave a comment down below. If you like this type of video, please consider subscribing. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Get out there and have your photo gear fun, and I will talk at you again in the next one.